Hi everyone, this is Cody, and in this video I'm going to be showing you this Suzuki LT230E. It's either a quad sport or a quad runner. I'm not quite sure which one it is. It says quad sport, but judging from its model number, it probably is a quad runner. So I'm not sure about that, but I got this thing for 50 bucks at the garage sale, and I think it's a pretty good deal. Okay, so the engine on this, it's a 230cc, or I guess 229. And it's pretty powerful. I don't know the actual horsepower rating, but it definitely goes pretty good. And then it's got a 5-speed with the upshift pattern instead, so you push up to change to like first, second, third, and then push down to downshift. So that's different from some of the other vehicles I've used, but it works good. It's pretty easy to shift. It's a nice shifter length and everything. And then it also has a reverse gear, so you push that back, it goes into reverse. And then it's got pull start, so that's kind of nice. It's got an electric start, which is the E. I think the 230S had a kick start, and it also had a manual clutch. I probably would have preferred that, having the manual clutch, but it is nice having the pull start and electric start. But I think the manual clutch would have been the way to go. But I got this at a garage sale for 50 bucks, so I didn't have much choice. And then on the other side, it's actually got a decompression up at the top, so that allows you to pull start it. With the amount of compression this has, there's pretty much no way you can pull start it pulling on it. I mean, you can pull it over, but it's really difficult. And then also the plastics, there's kind of one bad crack, which is here, going up there. I guess he tried to staple it together at some point. Most of the other cracks, though, I was able to kind of fix with zip ties. It's not the best fix, but it's held together. Okay, so the suspension on this thing in the rear, it's got a solid axle with hydraulic disc brake, and then the sprocket on that side. And then it's got the swing arm with a single spring. Now the spring's cool. You can adjust the preload, and I don't know if there's a dampening adjustment. I don't think there is. And then also the spring, you can see this better on the front shock. It is a nice a nice spring at the bottom, but as it gets close to the top, it's much more stiffly wound. So that way you have nice, comfortable suspension travel at the bottom. But if you were to go over a big bump or a jump, you wouldn't bottom out your suspension. So here on the front, you can see that a little bit better. You've got your springs, and then they get stiffer as they go up. Now the front ones I've got set on the stiffest, right? This is just how it came. It's pretty stable like this. I mean, you could tip the thing. I'm used to 3-wheelers, and it's definitely more stable. But if you know how to ride a 3-wheeler, you can keep that thing up. Like, obviously this can be more stable at speed, but you still can tip this. So it's not like, you still got to be careful. But even on the stiffest setting, these shocks really do eat up the bumps. And then the back one is on kind of a mid-range setting. It seems to work pretty good. Now looking at the handlebars on this guy, so you've got on this side, you've got your handle grip, your thumb throttle. I think the one with the clutch, the 230S, would have had a twist throttle, although I'm not certain about that. It's nice and smooth, this one, easy to operate. And then over on this side, you've got your disc brake for the front. Now it does have hydraulic discs on the front as well. These were pretty dirty. I had to clean them out, and there was grit in it and all sorts. But new brake fluid, and now these work nice. And then here you've got your ignition system. So it does have a key, which this is nice, so you can take the key out and the bike isn't going to run away. I'm not sure if these keys, if all of the ones for this model were the same. There's a possibility of that. But they're definitely different than all ATV keys. They're not all the same. So if you turn this on, the green light comes on. You probably can't see it in the light right now, but it's in neutral. And then if you put it in reverse, the reverse will be on. And if it's in gear, none of these lights are on. If you turn it one more click, the actual lights on the machine come on. So the front light over here, you have two settings. It's not two brightness settings. It's a low beam, which points further down, and then a high beam. This one actually points further up. And so that's kind of nice. I don't know. I haven't had too much use for that, having the two settings, but I guess it's nice if you're kind of trail riding or just riding over land. And then here's the choke, so you push this down for choke. I don't know if it was ever supposed to clip in. For me, it's almost spring-loaded. You kind of have to hold it down to choke it, but it works. And then you've got your on-off switch. So let's say you had the lights on, you wanted to turn the machine off and leave the lights on, you just press this, the machine turns off, the lights stay on. Assuming you have a battery in it. And then underneath that, you've got the starter switch, so you press that to start it. And then over here, you've got the parking brake. So I actually had to adjust this. This wasn't set up properly to start with. So you push that down. I can't do that with one hand. So you push it down, pull it back. I might be able to do this with one hand. I don't think I can. Then you push it in again and let it go, and it locks it in place. Here, I'll just do that quick. And once you have the parking brake set, it's not going to roll anywhere, assuming it's set up properly. And you can just squeeze it and release it, just like that. Now, since this machine is equipped with electric start and the lights and everything, it has a battery here. It's already gotten dirty, but I had to put a new battery in. The other one was just dead that it had. And then it's got the light, the rear light here, which works. And the muffler, it actually is pretty quiet still, but it's kind of falling apart. But at least it still works. Okay, so in the end, I think I got a good deal on this machine. On Craigslist, I've seen them going for $900 in kind of okay condition. And this one is in pretty good condition, considering everything. If I threw a new set of plastics on, it would look brand new. And the reason the guy was selling it, he just, I think he was getting older. He didn't need it anymore, and his friends had brand new ones anyway. It didn't actually start like at the garage sale. We tried to put gas in it, and then I couldn't get it to start when I got it back, but I knew it would start as it had spark and good compression and everything. So I tore apart the carburetor, rebuilt it. Well, didn't rebuild it. I cleaned it out. Still wouldn't start, and then realized I just didn't have enough gas in it. And the cool thing is the switch, it has a reserve and a regular on. So if you run out of gas, you can switch it to the reserve, which when I had tested the gas to make sure it was coming through, I had it switched to reserve, but it wasn't actually filled all the way up to the regular position, so that's why it wouldn't start. But I got it running. It ran pretty good. It had a ton of trouble cold starting, so I put a new spark plug in, and that fixed that problem. And I think it's still running a little bit rich because the spark plugs foul pretty often, but that can be fixed. So if you like the video or have any questions or suggestions or anything about it, give it a thumbs up or comment on it, and I will see you all in the next video.